Yay. Mhm. Go ahead, Micah.
Yeah, okay, thank you. So this is called Upon the Electric. The next day, there are two options: lay in bed all day and roll my eyes at graying clouds clustering near my window, or drink as much caffeine as I can hold in my stomach and try to type out a poem. This is the poem, or at least tries to be the poem, about the next day and each day in between the good ones. Last night, I went to a drive through rave. Yeah, 2021 is certainly grasping at our lungs until we can no longer fill them with the smoke of bodies burned. In California, we are always burning. If it's not the hills, it's our bodies. This is our alchemic gift, except I still don't know what we get in return. But last night I bathed in lights and smoke in back of my friend's Jeep with my torso out the sunroof, swaying to someone else's playlist. And I miss the connection to my body found in a musky warehouse in some random downtown Los Angeles alley, scoring pills from gay boys, dancing till the sun comes up. But that left me before the 2020 cyclones ever hit. And now I am here again, but I am someone different, trying to reconcile my need for sleep and my longing to feel the good old days instead of just letting them die. And what else might we put to rest before the year can truly hold us? It's barely the end of January, and I am already looking past this, or looking backwards, or looking nowhere. Before me, there is nothing but a grave, and I am here squeezing out as many laughs as I can before it takes me. I'm just saying, death follows me underground. I'm just saying, I've already died 1,000 times. I'm saying, there is heartbreak when the promise of reaching back to a home I remembered is what kept me alive on an island all those winters. And upon returning, I find only that it too has also died and been reborn into something I can't recognize. And I'm talking about change, how it no longer feels the way I remember, when I still can't smell nostalgia even after a month of post COVID recovery. And isn't this just also a drug? And aren't all drugs just a way of bending reality to make more tolerable what we all know is burning? And aren't we already on fire if we were born in the scorching rolling hills that crunch beneath our movements? And I'm just saying, I tried to survive these last few years, but I already died and am struggling to break out of a cocoon. I am ripping at the edges with my claws and screaming to be let out, but I now speak a different language, and I can't always understand myself when I'm buried under so many unprocessed layers. And I'm just like literally trying to dance away the feeling of being both home and away at the same time. I'm trying to forget that I may never come home to myself, but until then, there are those of us in this car passing bottles of poppers back and forth just to feel something other than the shock of being alive. Thank you.
I was so like wrapped up in that like when your poem ended, I was like, what? Like it took a while for my brain to like catch up with how my body was feeling. That was lovely as always, Micah, and I love. And I just want to lift up one of the comments. Someone said that they always love your voice, and I do too. I always love hearing your voice. So thank you so much for joining us. And yeah, I actually think that was a great opener. Um, so I know you said you were like worried about being first with that poem. I think like yeah, someone said in the chat, I felt like I was physically being pulled into your poem. Wow. So that was lovely. So on deck, we have, let me check my list. On deck, we have Luis, but coming to you right now is Aina. Hi.
Hi. Hi, everybody. I have two poems, and the first one I may have read before, like a long time ago. So if you've heard this, I apologize. um, this first poem is called I Dream in a Tongue Other Than My Own. 1 minute I'm Tweety smack, and the next I'm banjo twang. Yes, 1 minute I'm angle whip, and the next I'm eliding endings with beginnings, mouthing vowels so flat my mongrel self sounds almost real. But I dream in a different dialect, sift my mother's stout syllables, plump honorifics from the language of my colonizers. What is left? Glossy contractions, shiny subjunctive, grammar that belongs to the anthropology of the pale. People who look nothing like me, my lips inflamed, form these words, my throat forced to swallow syntax, cheeks lined with the hook and barb of prepositions for proper. We, creatures broken, domesticated, blistered maw muzzled, my brown body a vessel, torched, suffused with the idioms of my invaders, white bodies with alien speech who are alarmed by the rolling, smacking, slapping of tongues on crooked teeth, my croon a fire, my throat a chimney, my tongue as white as a flag burning, burning, my tongue is burning, my tongue is burning, is. And then this next poem is pretty short. It's from my grandmother. It's called Rice. Unhatched songs, quiet perfumed white, dirt-born pips cooking on the stovetop. I listen in half light, breathe still, tilt my ear as memories of Lola float up with a milk scent. Over her shallow basket, she'd clean the rice, pick tan shell from ivory kernel, say, in America, with a husk like that, you could scuff at the lightest skin, the palest fear. Daily she fed me, sweet muck of thick soy, gingered meat, hot mounds of rice. I still wonder how a grain too small for a wish holds the task of feeding in its shell. I left Lola on her cement step, her chipped plates, those women stooped and bronzing in patties. And I try not to confuse the smell of soggy hulls with the damp musk of an American dream. Still, I wait for the water to bubble in the pot, and soon, in this half light, they'll bud up soft, be what they'll be. And when it's time to grow up into this white, white world, give me a brown husk like that. Thanks for listening.
When it's time to grow up into this white, white world, give me a brown husk like that. That ending, the whole poem, both of them, the rhythm of the first one, the like rice. I hope you're reading the chat, Ina. I really do. And I don't know, I love, or I should say we rather said, and I love that like we're able to have, these open mics virtually where we can like have folks from all over like read their poetry and like be exposed to each other and connect. And we'll definitely find a way to keep that going even as like things move toward being more in person. But yeah, thank you so much for your presence and your time, Ina. Thank you. So before I bring up our next poet, I want to let Elle know that they are on deck. I'd also like to remind folks we have a lot of space in our lineup tonight. So if folks want to sign up to read, they can. Syra, can you please drop the link? I already saw that one person signed up. So thank you for being brave and wanting to share your work. And then when Syra drops that link, you can sign up. It's just a very simple Google form. I want to remind folks that, Luya is a pay what you can kind of shop always. So whether that's for workshops or for open mics like today, your donations go to the upkeep of Luya. Live captioning services cost money. So does the premium subscription of Zoom that doesn't have the time limit. So anything you donate goes towards that and also goes towards paying our feature for the night, Amalia, who you will get to hear from very soon. They are a truly fantastic poet. And I did want to highlight that Amalia started coming to Luya during the pandemic to our virtual open mics, and they're featuring today. And so I really want to remind folks that please keep coming back. We most of our features come from the folks who sign up to read at our open mic. Okay, so on that note, Luis, are you ready? Yeah? Wait, let me make sure that you can unmute.
Hello?
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, no, but I guess I have no options. I'm scared. I'm nervous, man. What's up, everybody? Hi. Today, I just have... Oh, I'm doing jokes, by the way. And if you don't find them funny, it's fine. We don't have to see each other again. It's fine. I'm not going to take it personally. These are new jokes. These are just premises that I'm going to run. Also, but by the way, well, hold on. Before we start, I do want to share this note that I wrote down when I was watching the Fast and Furious 9. Spoilers. I just like how when John Cena and like Vin Diesel's dad died, and then they decided to get jacked afterwards. I think that's just a cool fact. It's just one thing I noticed. Their dad dies, and then after they get because they used to be really skinny when they were young. They're like mad skinny, and then obviously when you see them current, they're like jacked. I just think I don't know. I don't know. I guess I have to wait for my dad to die so I can get jacked. I don't know. I don't know if that's a man thing. Like once you can't get hugs from your dad, you have to like work out the pain away. I don't know. But anyway, one thing. All right. One thing that I hate about the news. One thing I hate whenever about America covering foreign news is that we overreact. You know, it's like right now, like in Cuba. They're protesting the government, and I hate in Cuba and like in other countries. I hate that the first example of citizens, whenever they see a country revolt, is just to take down the government and add a new one. You know, that's a bit too much. You know, especially because in America, like imagine if they did that in America. You know, if someone was like, oh look, the citizens are protesting to free Britney. I guess we got to bring in communism. You know, it's like that's not how. Okay, no, that's all right. That's not going nowhere. I have a great credit score because they don't check your library fines, and I'm very grateful for that, you know, because if those went to collections, me and my mom would be in extreme debt, you know. We would owe so much money. I would have to get a college degree just to pay off my library fines, you know, like that's how debt I am, that I'd have to get in more debt just to get off that, you know. And but I don't know, they're not gonna get my money. I don't know, they're not doing anything, you know. The library is equivalent to the UN, that they have no power, you know. I feel like the Amish people can make me like pay my fines better, you know. I feel like the Amish people would be a better job to like collect debts, you know. Like they just come to your house and be like, God said you owe money, and then they kill your dog, you know. I feel like that'd be an effective way. I don't know, I just like the imagery of Amish people killing your dog. I don't know why. Like I don't know. I'm sorry. Trigger warning, your dog might die. I feel like you're not gonna tell me your dog. If someone threatens your dog, you're gonna pay off every day, you know? Okay, anyway. No, let me double down on this. Nah, if your dog, like, listen, like I feel like that's where people get like people want to kidnap sons, daughters. Like, no, that's terrible. You kidnap the dog, you know? That's where the money comes in, you know? Like you want someone to... How much time do I have? Wait. How much time? All right, I got 15 seconds to talk about the death of your dogs. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, if your dog, protect your dog, because the dog holds the key to your heart. And then, I don't know. Listen, I don't know. Like, no, I'm not going there. All right, anyway. I'm gonna come back with more dog bits. I got y'all. Bye.
I was like, I don't know where this dog bit is going until someone in the chat said John Wick type shit. And I was like, oh, okay, wait. And then I thought about just the general, like, I don't know, pop culture landscape of like people caring so much about their dogs and like dog nappings and just like, yeah, I I'm with it. I get it. Syra requested more dead pet bits. I don't know. I don't know if I would request that, but you know, everybody, something for everybody. Luis always bringing the comedy that touches touches our hearts. Thank you, Luis. Okay, before more dead pet bits if you donate to Luya. Yeah, on that note, donate to Luya. Do it at Luya Poetry on Venmo, $ Luya Poetry on Cash App. Yes, also please follow Luis on Instagram. That's at a humble Luis. And you might be like, humble, huh? But that's where the joke lies, you know? So you should follow Luis. Luis also has merch. I don't know if you still have merch, but I remember distinctly one time at an in-person Luya, Luis showed up in like a hoodie that said a humble Luis, and I was so here for it. Wait, Luis, what's your sign? Oh wait, we have to let Luis unmute. My bad. Yeah,
I am a
Luis,
triple Gemini, yeah.
truly one of the most chaotic people I know, but I love Luis's energy. Amalia in the chat's like powerful.
Thank you.
You know, three Gemini. Like if your big three was all Gemini, that is a lot of
Sun,
power.
moon, and
And
rising, yeah.
with great power comes great responsibility. Okay, before I bring up Elle, I'm so excited for the song Elle is going to perform for us today. I want to tell, because some folks came late and didn't hear, but Luya is having a birthday party. So we've been around for 3 years. Technically, today is like our 3-year show anniversary. We are actually having an event to celebrate. So our theme today is picnic. We are actually going to have a picnic. So that will be on July 25th from 3 to 7 p.m. at a park in Chicago. You will find out what park it is if you RSVP at the form that I just dropped in the chat. So sorry, folks who are not in Chicago, that you cannot attend this picnic. But, you know, I don't know. If you end up in Chicago on July 25th from wherever you are in the world, then obviously you can come. So y'all bring the snacks and yourselves and your blankets, and we will provide, you know, a few DJ sets. One of our DJs is in the Zoom right now. What's up, Neil? Provide some collective art making, and you know, maybe there will be cake. And on that note, Elle, take it away. You know what? I'm gonna there you go.
Yeah. Yay. Hello, I'm nervous. I mean, I'm Elle. So picnics, right? Maybe you'll listen to this and be like, what does this have to do with picnics? And I think, well, first off, a fire, Chicago is also having a picnic soon, but you know, just go to our page, you know, and you'll find the details. But what I'm really excited about is like, yeah, like I really loved Micah's poem, like setting the tone for that. I feel like a lot of us are like, yes, happy, and also like honoring where we're at. And I think because of what we're going through, right, with the pandemic. And when I was a kid, I loved like hosting like picnics where like we'd have bonfires and everybody can do whatever they want. And a lot of times we'd like go in circles and like tell stories or share music. And I feel like these days it's really hard for me to show up in group settings because of just how much I'm holding. And I'm just someone where I'm going through my Saturn return right now. And so one of those things is like learning boundaries, and also like boundaries don't just mean limits. They mean like, hey, where can we give, right? And I'm like, how can I show up in an authentic way in a group without like being 1000% transparency about trauma and pain, right? Like we don't need to do that all the time. And so I feel like this song, instead of telling every detail of everything I'm going like dealing with, I feel like this song like kind of captures it, and it's like in a more, you know, accessible way to share with a group. And so that's where I'm coming from. I hope I don't mess up. If I do, I know y'all won't give me crap anyways, but yeah. So thank you for the love. I don't have a title for this. I'll just start it. Hope you know that I don't like you, might even hit your guts. If I saw you in person, I might go knocking butts. You'd say that I am petty, I'd say that you're a fraud. Test my boundaries, I'll shatter your public facade. Stay the fuck away from me, don't know how I lived without breathing. Now you can't reach my energy. No, next round won't be so easy. Stay the fuck away from me. Don't know how much I can keep giving for someone who lies through their teeth, consistently deny my reality. It's okay that I've outgrown you. Our paths can split in two. Once they intertwined, I learned my lessons through and through. I know that you are human, but I am human too. I honor my limits. I love me more than I could use. Crying on your private feed, begging for new beginnings without an ounce of accountability. No more will you keep on fooling me. Stay the fuck away from me. Don't know how much I can keep giving for someone who lies through their teeth, consistently deny my reality. Stay the fuck away from me. Don't know how I lived without breathing. Now you can't reach my energy. No, next round won't be so easy. Thank you. Woo.
Y'all, wait, hold on. I will temporarily give us unmute capabilities. Y'all feel free to unmute yourselves and give a big round of applause, not just to Elle, but to all of the performers of our first half. Dina in the chat was like the new national anthem, and honestly, yes. Like if you did like, you know, like a breakup album a la Olivia Rodrigo, but we like took breakup to mean not just like romantic, right? Like Elle, it's just a thought. I would love more of this. I feel like the general Zoom is in agreement. That was
I am so
amazing.
inspired by the youth. I would love that.
Okay, so I guess I am going to close out our second half, or sorry, second. I'm getting ahead of myself. Our first half. I have two little poems for y'all. Um, uh, I saw that there were a few more people who signed up for the open mic. Love that. So just to make sure that we got everybody, I have Oni, Pure Substance, and Chris on the list. Okay, cool. All right, so yeah, here are my two poems. I'm gonna screen share my first poem because I have I did some formatting. This is a draft poem, by the way. But yeah, can y'all see this? Yes? Okay, this poem is called Alone, and I have not read it to anybody before. Entryway. Two pairs of house slippers and a set of hooks for keys. Mine, someone's, ours. Boots that live by the door for the slick, the slush, that we are prepared for the city and its whims. Seasons change, but kitchen. Warm tones, two kinds of cereal. Rice, the bulk bag kind, short grain and jasmine, fragrant with all the herbs we are growing, rosemary, mint, basil. I snip them gleefully for our dinner. They grow back. We flourish by the windowsill, sink, dishwasher hums, and living room. A couch we sink into, small dips in favorite spots for reading, bookcases to hold enough for two, the posters, mine, the posters, yours, on the walls, zines fanned out on the coffee table, cushions for snuggling into the floor, enough room for bedroom, two nightstands, two lamps, our mattress with the platform bed frame, pillows for sleep and pillows for decoration, and everything tender, clothes peeking from the dresser, a place for us dreaming. I dream for me, I dream of you, I dream of no one. And that's that piece. You know, because I was thinking of picnics, and I was like, who would I take to like a picnic? And then so that poem happened. Um, and then this poem doesn't have a title yet. I wrote it based. So there's this really cool poet called Muriel Leung. I hope I'm saying their name right. You should check them out. They have this book out, and the title of the book is Imagine Us, the Swarm, which I think is such a cool title for a poetry book. But this poem was written based off of a prompt that they gave that comes from that book. Suppose every shadow illuminates itself into submission, and every breath takes shape with ease. Suppose we suffuse ourselves with something other than suffering, and we rest, unsheathe our shoulders for the sun. Instead, I ask the heavens for disaster. I ask no one in particular for an ending. I ask for peace in the form of my own erasure because I lack imagination. I self-fulfill the prophecy. I follow it to its distended bottom. The shadows loom large enough to rival my sadness, and I wonder if joy hurts as good as suffering feels. Suppose the comfort of your sorrow is not enough. Suppose the carousel of your fragile thoughts fractures through your skull. Suppose the emptiness is untenable. What then? Instead, suppose you are we and split wide the numbing, enliven the aching and run from nothing. Suppose we crack open our chests and weep together against the struggle. Suppose we collect refusals and release them into altars. Suppose we sublimate into our own gods, disobedient. Okay, so we are gonna take a very short intermission. I'm gonna play some music, take 10 minutes, use the bathroom or stay in the chat and vibe, replenish your snacks, your drinks, your joints, whatever. And we will see y'all in 10 minutes for our feature, Amalia. Okay, wait. Before we break, someone named Chase Corvid entered the waiting room, and their name is spelled, so Chase, like I'm chasing something, and then their last name is spelled Corvid, C''ORVID. Do we think this is a troll? You know what? We can always boot them if they're not. We'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Let me make sure that folks can unmute themselves for now. All right. We about to find out, y'all. All right, everyone. So we're gonna take a quick 10-minute intermission, and then we will be right back. Welcome back, everybody. I hope you had a good break. On deck we have. Hold on. Trying to remember. Okay. On deck we have Dina. But right now we have our amazing, stupendous, talented, wonderful feature, Amalia. And I'm going to read your bio, Amalia. So sorry if you get like cringe from it, but I love this. Amalia Yarapotu is a queer Indian poet, climate advocate, organizer, and Gemini. Oh, that's why you said the triple Gemini was powerful. From the Bay Area, but currently in Chicago, she writes to come to terms with the historic and ongoing wounds of the earth and family. In college, she performed with the Stanford Spoken Word Collective and was a member of the Stanford Cupsy team in 2018, where they were a finalist, and 2020, when there was a pandemic. Her spoken word has appeared on Button Poetry. Wait, hold on. Sorry, Amalia, you can't put that in your bio and not expect me to look this up. So before I bring Amalia on, I'm going to find Amalia on Button so that you can all watch. Oh my God, I found it right away. Amazing. Okay, so I'm going to post the link in the chat. And Amalia, I'm going to invite you to unmute yourself. Hi, Amalia.
Hello. Hi. It is so good.
I said, how are you?
Oh, I am good. I'm really nervous. This is like my first full feature, like I've performed before, but hopefully folks won't get tired of hearing my voice. But I'm really excited to be here. And thank you so much, Chris and Sarah, for creating this space. Yeah, I moved to Chicago during the pandemic, which is like a lonely thing to do, to move in a pandemic. So Luya has been a space that has been so good for making connections and being in spaces with other poets. Cool, I'm gonna hop into it. So this first poem is actually one of the first poems that I wrote after moving to Chicago. And yes, I'm kind of always thinking about how deep systemic evil runs on like a global and ecological scale, but also an interpersonal family level. And I'm often very overwhelmed by it all. So the backstory for this poem is I went to the beach with a bunch of friends right after a bunch of lightning storms struck the Bay Area that triggered a whole bunch of wildfires. And the morning that I was leaving, my parents were arguing, and I was like, that's a problem for when I get home. And then there was also like smoke in the horizon as we were driving up. And that was also like, oh, hopefully that doesn't get too bad. And then I got back and everything was literally and figuratively on fire. So this is field notes for wildfire season, content warning for fire. I witnessed the future as a ghost this summer at the end of each street and keep running out of reasons to turn my head. I'm wishing for a raindrop, a wave, a wind, any known balm for dread, any known method of exorcism, an ancient prayer, a poem, any god still watching, any spirit unsummoned. I keep arriving back at portraiture. Poppies closed midday, scratch in the throat, makeup inside of a mask, 6,000-year comet, skeleton of a state park, old observatory, our inherited watching, ancient oak, old growth redwoods, sea fog and smoke by the shore, cave covered by tide, tsunami warning town, car flipped at the road's bend, Sunday morning lightning strike, Sunday morning sun shower, Sunday morning argument heard from the hallway, Sunday candy playing on Spotify, Sunday drive home from the beach, a wave, a wind, a poem, a rainstorm, a bomb, any bomb, a photograph fading, a final catalog of home. Ash caught in spider webs, cigarette burns on the back porch, pyrocumulonimbus over the hills, haze settled on the valley, after image, footprint, shadow, reflection sun's source, red sun, red moon, red glow in the horizon, fire, just over the ridge. Like half the set is about wildfire. So Micah, when I heard your poem, I got very excited at the beginning of this, just California things. This next poem is called Teenage Girl as an Incarnation of Ganesha. Ganesha is a Hindu god, the one with the elephant head. And I think growing up raised on a lot of old stories, I was often like, the implications of this are actually kind of fucked when you think about the value system that this implies. And later I was like, I'm going to process this by writing all this poetry in which I am a god. So content warning for body horror. Teenage girl as an incarnation of Ganesha. Ganesha is on the honor roll. Ganesha is 4.0 girl. National merit finalist, 5 in every AP, textbook stacked by the altar, 6 a.m. alarm, and 2 a.m. average bedtime. Allergic to A- girl. She hates PE. Watches as sister runs laps around her. She's got Luddu cheeks and a white girl elephant shirt, shops at PacSun, and prays to be invited to the prom after party. She's suntan block skin and acne scar chin, vodka and coke spilled down her front. She's noticing Mehndi on a pale palm like a red smile in the moon, watching her belly in a pool of ghee, what do on weekends, outside, in the sun. She sits beside her mother while her father watches TV in the next room. Ganesha dreams of sprinting across the earth. She dreams of every river, every lake. She dreams of presenting her own head to her father. She dreams of her mother smearing sandalwood paste into the crook of her elbow, the bloody stump of her neck. Ganesha dreams of kneeling at the foot of the bed, of her stomach splitting open, all the laddu and prasadam pouring out and pooling where her forehead meets her mother's feet. This next poem is called A Light-Skinned Friend Tells Me That I Am Beautiful. And I want to reply, no, you are. By which I mean, I don't want pity when you still get everything else. I know the ways you are looked at, and I can't help but want to be seen too. In the red glow of a frat party, I want the eyes of a man I do not know. I want porcelain skin, silk for hair, a tapestry of ill-fitting cliche molding me desire. I want to stand on a table and see everyone freeze to watch. I want to press my palms to the gloss of my lips on a magazine. Brown is beautiful, they tell me. Yes, I say, I know. I have, after all, seen my sister smile, felt the beat of the tabla, the vibration of a foot covered in bells striking the earth. I've watched my own stomach under the veil of a sari, listened to drums against rain. I know. I know what it means to never belong to a billboard, to be of the earth instead. I know the grace of the dust path at sunset, the soft mud at the bottom of a pond. I know the slow work of growth, what it means to be loved for what you create, how the creation is worshipped, the creating forgotten. I know that mud hands the praise to the lotus and never complains. And I know the lotus is only beautiful because it is born of mud. Its petals stand cream against murky water. They gleam sharp in the pond, collecting all the moonlight, and then that muddy bank fades into the dark. By which I mean, I know there is a cost to beauty, that if one thing is beautiful, its opposite is not. And I could write a defense of the mud, like I could write an ode to my skin, but I don't want my beauty to be subversive. I don't want to be beautiful at all. Truly the vibe all the time is do not perceive me, cannot be perceived. This next poem is called Wedding Gifts at the End of the World, another content warning for fire. Wedding gifts at the end of the world. In the end, I can only give what is still here. That is, a chip of ice to suck on the way to the altar, the greenest blade of grass I could find, a wilted poppy from the bush outside our apartment. I love you, and all I can offer is the promise that there was water once. All I can offer is a Wikipedia page on river otters, a video of the last Bengal tiger, an article about a man who spent his entire life fighting to save endangered snails. I love you, and I can only promise to fight in the face of tragedy. I love you, so I will not offer anything permanent, only things that grow. That is, seeds, of course. Whatever survived the fire at Yosemite and the flooding of Guadalupe River, every fruit untouched by rot, every orchard that isn't dead yet. I love you and want the world to last longer than our wedding. I love you and want our children to outlive our memory. I can only give what is already here, so I offer refusal. I offer a new world escaping through my parted lips. I offer memories of the drought and the famine and how our ancestors survived it all. All I can give is whatever remains, so I offer the sweat of my palms as I press a hand to your cheek, the rattle of my lungs as we breathe in, out, together. Our laughter turned to prayer bells, our hands rooted together like trees embracing the earth. All I have are memories of the bay, before the sand and the storm. All I have is the stubborn faith that the stars still exist above it all, that autumn is still the best time for a wedding, despite the smoke-poisoned wind, despite the scarlet sky. I love you, and all I can promise is to hold you close as every leaf strewn about the altar unravels into flame. But our poem actually was partially inspired way back, I think, during the Napa fires. Some folks did like wedding photos, and they were like wearing like gas masks in the middle of a vineyard with like all the smoke behind them. Truly climate change. Wow, what a threat to be facing. This next poem is also slightly about climate change, and it's based on a dream that I had in September of 2019 that was very grim and eerie. And as someone who does not remember dreams, this one in particular really unsettled me. And I was like, this can't be a sign of anything to come. And then 2020 and 2021 happened. So that was fun. And I actually performed this poem. This was the last like in-person performance I did before the pandemic at my spoken word collective show. And I remember like at that show, that was the day that the university announced that they were canceling classes. And at the time we were all so excited. We were like, you know, we'll be gone for a week and then everything will be normal again. Yes, little did we know. So this poem has major psychic vibes. Little did I know. Content warning for suicidal ideation, mentions of shooting and fire. This is Hope Attempt. At the beginning of the year, I dreamed of nuclear fallout. My room was still and full of everyone I have ever loved. Asleep, I found peace in this, yet woke unrested. Kane leaves Gilroy just hours before the bullets start. Kerala floods, Modi wins in a landslide. A pair of lungs burn in the street. The ocean retreats for a counterattack. I keep thinking we're going to lose. I keep searching for an explanation and ending up at my window, gaze locked with the red moon. I'm trying to find my sister's hand, but keep catching a cold, unfamiliar wrist instead. 3 friends attempt an exit. How can I ask them to stay when I've pondered the same question? I swear I'm looking for an answer, but the Japanese maple loses her leaves before she gives her reply. I visit the same room in the hospital a year later. When I'm home, my father's nightmares wake me up. My city seeps into the earth and comes out the tap putrid yellow. Empire encases itself in glass and somehow stays unshattered. The Amazon burns, Australia burns, California burns, I know history is a series of survivals, and yet, how much more will we lose? How can we still be asked to? In my dream of fallout, the room is still, and I feel no fear. No dread at the rising chorus of ghosts, the cold hand approaching. The light is sickly, but it colors the world gold. It's enough. In the dream, it's enough. Some days, I wake with an answer. My dog, still here at 11. San Jose's endless blue sky. Gab and Kale trying idli for the first time. The warmth of Teresa's knees where they brush mine. That was all just one March Saturday, but it's vanishing between my fingers already. My dog, probably gone soon. San Jose's sky darkened again with smoke. Teresa walking away just days later. The light is petal thin, and yet I keep thinking of the dream's quiet. It has to be enough. I can't find any answer but this. A cluster of cells fighting to hold together, gravity gripping its orbit against endless dark, a thumb swiping over the mirror, again and again, desperate for its own image. Oof. Yeah, that poem is a time. I was making the set and I realized that it was quite depressing, which was surprising because I don't consider myself like an angsty poet, but I mean, I guess I am. So I saved my one optimistic poem for the very last one. And I think this poem is kind of an answer to everything that I've read so far, which is that everything is scary, but I love my queer chosen family. And this poem also is actually the first poem I performed at Luya, so grateful to share it again in this space. Another content warning for suicidal ideation. The house with the pickling corner. The first thing we buy is a jar for pickling. So Taeyong meant pickle as in cucumbers, and I meant pickle as in cabbage or maybe mango, and turns out I'm the only one who's had an oil pickle, so there's another reason to start a garden in DC. Next to the pickling corner, next to the she shed, next to the wood shop, next to the climbing wall, next to the beehives kept far from the dog and the cat and the chicken and the duck. Speaking of, who will buy diapers for the duck? I didn't know ducks needed diapers until today. I didn't even know you could make vinegar from wine, and I definitely didn't know how to make soap. And none of us can figure out how the first person figured it out. How someone saw alkali and water and cassia oil and considered taking a bath. Proof, I suppose, that a secret telling of history might simply be a long series of people figuring the basic shit out. Belatedly, Taeyong wants to make tofu, and Kane says why, like a parent might, when you make life or other basic tasks harder than they need to be. Undeterred, Taeyong also wants to make salt, which is also unnecessarily difficult, but in a moment of quiet, we all understand the appeal. Dipping a string into soy wax, walking miles to plunge a bucket into the sea, pressing seeds to earth, or poking fingers into a bowl of dough, picking a rose and putting it in oil or syrup or something else sweet that will keep it safe. A secret. This is a week where I don't particularly want to be alive. So add it to the history. Here is the list we created anyways. Everything we'll make with our own hands one day. Yeah, just our hands. That's everything. Thank you all so much for listening.
Y'all, wow. Okay. So I hope there are no trolls in here. I will remove you if there are. But okay. Y'all, can we unmute and please give Amalia a big round of applause for that beautiful feature set?
Yeah. So I'm gonna try not to cry. I'm aware that it's cancer season, so the chances of me not crying are low. But what was I gonna say? I lost my train of thought.
I've like been in like organizing trainings and staff retreats all week with like youth and also my like coworkers. We're just like thinking about like what's the work that we have to do to get the world that we want to like live in, and just like listening to all of those poems. Like, yes, you're right. Like many of them like were sad in some ways, but I don't know, I just feel this like the way my heart feels right now is like, yes, I'm very sad about like all of the shit that's happening in the world, but I'm also like I'm filled with a sense of like I don't want to let go of the things that we have, and I want like um if I have to go down, if we have to go down, like I'm gonna go down swinging. You know, you will have to like pry this like husk of a world from my like dying hands, you know what I mean? Because you know all we have is each other and our chosen family and our loved ones, and um you know, I'm gonna keep on fighting. So thank you so much, Amalia, for that beautiful offering today. um I know earlier you said that you told us that you're not sure exactly of the date that you are leaving Chicago. I hope you can come to our birthday. So the rest of you should also come to our birthday, and then you can meet Amalia in person. Um, Amalia, I know you have social media accounts, so please feel free to drop in the chat the ones that you feel comfortable folks following. But I think I speak for everybody when I say that you should put these poems and more poems together in a chapbook, because if you did, I would buy it. I bet everyone in here would buy it too. And I'll say like I literally printed my chapbook at FedEx and stapled it myself. So like chapbook doesn't have to be by a big publisher. You know, as Dina said in the chat, I would buy the heck out of it. Same.
It's going
Okay,
to be my motivation to finally put poems together and actually make a chapbook. So
please. Oh my God, you live with Isabel, as I'm sure Isabel will bother you about it a lot. Isabel's already planning this. Isabel, you don't know, but Isabel has a work plan to get this chapbook into the world. Isabel's already found you the artist for the cover art. Like, I'm sure Isabel has already got like like a list of potential volunteers to like fold pages and staple them. For people who don't know, Isabel's talking about whispering in Amalia's ear as they fall asleep. Isabel and Amalia live together. Just wanted folks to know that it's okay for Isabel to say these things to Amalia. All right. Okay. So on deck, we have Rise, who is a past feature. But right now, we have Dina. Hi, Dina.
Hi everyone. I have two pieces today. The first one I actually wrote as part of our July grind at Maria's and Sampaguita's. So if you guys need any inspiration or prompts, we have a buttload of them. I thought this would be perfect for tonight because picnic, and I have the word bread in it. It doesn't have a title yet, but it was inspired by language and translation. Like my mother tongue does not yield to your wonder bread language. We will swallow each word, spit it out with conjugation, nagaling sa ilog. Taga-ilog kami, riding on Pasig as she flows to Dagat, taking your nouns and stewing them with Mamacita's mix. Pinaisbook kita, my mother calls, using one form of reaching to indicate that she had reached me elsewhere. Sinapchat mo ba? Each social media chewed up with kanin. Kita mo ba the new blood of nosebleed blood? Tagalog embraces as it consumes, mga salita meant to rot us. Bulok ba ang mga tao that chewed resistance with their first solid food? Spanish and English brought to control, now mashed and sautéed in bawang, kamatis, sibuyas, at luya. Konti lang asin. We all know they're salty enough, having been dragged across dagat to our shores with promises of pure and puti. We took your God and made him brown again. A manamin is made of Mexican darkwood, transported to sister colony and planted like seeds into our soul. We have given enough, are still praying to your retanned God that the sauce will never finish simmering. Magpray ka rin that ang salita ever flowing will keep on to that steady rhythm of change. Don't correct me, don't correct her, don't you dare correct a language made up by verbs na ninakaw and broken grammar. We are simply adding seasoning. My next one was inspired by our president, Olivia Rodrigo, when I first listened to her album. And it's about looking back on the youth trademark logo and thinking about where I am now as opposed to when I was part of the youth. Today, I parallel parked on the left side of a one-way street, listening to songs I could have used a while ago. Broken, young, tired, and restless of hot rage as I watched years stretch between then and okay. At the corner of okay and now, I look back at the blurred trees lining where I'd stood, calling through heavy grocery bags at the girl still there, faces tilted up at the strands of light showering through leaves. It's healed now, though I can feel it. Through layers of skin cells stubborn to cover what it felt like forever. In the rear view, I peek at the sidewalks where I once lingered, now distorted by growing shadows. It was unnoticeable, the way windows and doors began to blur in my eyesight, and the everydays became once a weeks, then never, and now. Thank you. That's all I had for tonight.
Wait, that like sneak ending, you were just like, last line, thank you. You know, I need like a warning to like recover from my emotions.
Scene.
Thank you for that. Wow, I was waiting for someone from Luya's general like community to do an Olivia Rodrigo inspired poem, for so many reasons. One of which being that like she's truly mastered the like the hurt and yearning that like runs a thread through all like just Filipino music. I also think that I feel like these are themes that are also really have been perfected by like Bollywood music.
Yes, the
Just like
yearning.
other like Asian music traditions have really just, and when I found out Olivia Rodrigo was also like Asian and Filipino, I was like, yeah, that's all over her album. The white people don't know. But yeah, I love hearing you read, Dina. I echo everything that is in the chat. Thank you so much. And with that, we have our last performer from our like initial signups, and then the folks who signed up today, you'll get to perform after. I put the order in the chat, but it's gonna go Oni, Pure, and then Chris, and then Syra to close us out. But right now, we have someone who we are huge fans of at Luya. They have also featured at Luya in the past. I love their little pup and their face and their blue wall. Hello, dog. Hello, Rise.
Jelly says hi. Hello. Hi, I'm Rice. This is Jelly Ferocious, my support pup. So I'm gonna do one. Chris and Syra, I love you. Okay, so I'm gonna do two poems, one short, one kind of like a little smooth meditative poem. So the first one is the short one, a poem that I wrote about my friend and how much I love them. Every conversation with them is a riot. When I say riot, I mean joy. Slides itself out of the pristine of brick and concrete, feeling it's messy. Every cackle is a piece of wall crumbling, a blessing. Smoke and mirrors in the distance, we clear sky on how we love. The asteroid missed us. The bullet missed us. All that want us, not us, missed us. I miss us. Every moment, not a confirmation. We Black and free is a curse. Love song me alive between the times. Choreograph the space between ease. This is friendship cooked slow cooked, highly seasoned meat. Fall off the bone, love. I'll meet you at the crossroads of falling apart and together, love. Separate and same, love. Platonic as disappearing chains, love. So that's that poem. And then the next one is, can everyone take a deep breath through your nose? Exhale out your mouth. This next poem is called When the Buildings Fall, Between Each Crumble Are Pockets of Air. Starts with 2 quotes. And don't think the trees lose their ecstasy in winter. It's quiet, but the roots are down there riotous, by Rumi. Second quote, there is nothing new under the sun, but there are new suns. Octavia Butler. The poem. We never start off hard, never concrete, never rock, never hammer needed to connect or chisel to soothe. We come out warm, mostly. The cold hits us, and somewhere an ancestor watches us take in new air. Curl our fists to fight the shock of our first breeze. Some of us. We come out frantic, suspicious, scrunched. We stretch fresh limbs from side to uneven side and don't care. Fresh toes and hands and noses, some of us. Or congested or requiring more time or less. Not blank, never blank, only unknown. For now, some of us. We come out looking, we lead body first, we look body first, which means we lead and trust. No, we do not come out hard, but we learn quickly that hard hurts, that softness should be what soothes hard, but sometimes softness is worse, so we adjust. Depending on how the world sees us, we dry out our earth cells quicker than most. Learn to survive, adapt, be resilient, right? Be a dandelion, be either the tree that grew around the fire hydrant or the water responsible now for feeding the new tree, and we never blame the sun. We know she has her own battles with humans too. We tell ourselves we failed because we didn't try. We tell ourselves we won, but we don't deserve it. We ask ourselves who the fuck we think we are dreaming. Who the fuck you think you are dreaming? Who the fuck you think you are loving, forgiving? You don't know that make you soft? You don't know that make you worse? And we believe it. Noises that should screech unbearable, set off alarms, have paramedics on standby, have your best friend on standby if you have one. Become like melodies, become dependable, become what we tell ourselves we're okay with being, until community, until purpose, until joy, until. What I'm trying to tell you when I tell you the hard stuff first is there is a way out. I'm telling you, birth bearer, light giver, life giver. If your purpose tells you to get up at 2 a.m. in the morning, you get up. Birth work taught me that. Pushing 3 hours for baby to slip out like they was grease and oil taught me that. Counting down contractions, breathing out your mouth lets the pain out, bearing down and out lets the pain out, staying in the moment names the pain, acknowledge the pain in the room. The only way out is through. The only way out is through. The only way out is through. I don't care what it is. I'm telling you, winged mosaic, fugitive caterpillar, subsequent ancestor, passed down recipe of blood and bone. If your purpose tells you to get up at 2 in the morning, you get up. New life, new life, new signs, new signs. There ain't nothing new under an old one, but there's new signs, new signs. No, we don't start off hard. Yes, we can start again tomorrow, softly.
Ah, right. Every time, every time. Thank you so much. I agree with Dina in the chat who said that was so gentle. I feel so safe. I feel very safe right now. I love that so much. Thank you so much, Rise. Before we move on, Rise, is there anything new? I feel like I saw a show on your Instagram.
Yes,
Can you
my
tell us
bad,
about
my
it?
bad, homies, my bad. I am featuring at Surviving the Mic on July 21st. Woo! So if you look up Surviving the Mic on the gram, that's the only social media I have, so I don't know where else it is, but you'll see it.
Yes.
Please feel free to sign up for the open mic as well. I would love to see y'all there. It is the anniversary of the ADA, which is, the bare minimum for people with disabilities. So as a disabled person, I will be talking my shit as per usual. And I'm very excited. I will also be performing at Free Street Theater in the last week of July. I think I'm on the 28th, but there's like 5 days of in-person in the park, like day long and intergenerational performances. So bring your grandma, bring your babies, bring your auntie. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be on my page. And my Instagram, I'm gonna drop it real quick, is Name Supreme. Thank you again so much, Luya, Chris, and Syra. I love y'all so much.
Actually,
you make my heart every time.
There you go, Rise. I believe Syra is performing at the same thing that you're talking about in the park.
Yeah, you are.
So Syra, what day are you performing?
I'm performing every day because I'm a featured artist, baby.
That's right. So it is. So after so basically, here's what your last part of July is gonna look like. On the 25th, you come to Luya's birthday party. On the 20, when does it start?
Like the 27th through the 31st, different park throughout, I believe, like the south and west sides, and there'll be different performers except the featured. So me and I believe it's another group that are the featured artists, and then different guest artists for each park. To the park.
So Syra is literally doing a Chicago tour the last week of July. So I expect all of you to follow them across the city. And then especially on the 28th, where you will be able to see Syra and Rise at the same event with other really wonderful people. And it will be outside. So you can, distance yourself from anyone who, might be trying to get too close to your space. And info for that, where can we find it, Rise and Syra?
Free Street Theater. And Syra, I think you're coming up first, right? So I'm ending on the 28th. So if you come, you will be in a consensual Pisces sandwich of performances. So,
Let us.
I don't know how y'all feel, but I can already tell the 28th will be the best day to partake of this Free Street Theater show. And for those from Chicago who are not familiar with Free Street Theater, they do amazing theater work in Chicago. I don't know what word they use, but I would totally call it like a theater activation, because they do theater like in public places where like it can be accessible to everybody, and it's really, really beautiful. So please support Syra and Rise. Okay, we do have like 3 more people to come up to the mic today. So on deck, we have Pure Substance. Pure, are you still here? I know you were like in the park. Oh my God, y'all are still here. Yes.
Yeah,
we're here.
my
You
phone
can
died,
see
so
us.
I'm on my friend's phone.
Amazing. Thank y'all so much for sticking around. So right now we have Oni, and then on deck we have Pure Substance, and then Chris, and then to close out the show, we have Syra. So Oni, take it away.
Yes, thank you so much. The first poem I have is called Generosity, and I picked this one because the theme was picnic, so I thought generosity, abundance. So the quote I start with is by Adrienne Marie Brown. Generosity here means giving of what you have without strings or expectations attached. I want to be generous like the rain that replenishes the dry earth. Here I am with abundant love. I can give you what has overflowed. No, I do not need something back because you do not need to prove your love to me. In this world, we do not have to doubt about love because we have more than enough to go around. I love you through detachment, detached yet interwoven. We're all carrying each other like bisi braided over and over, like a bright yellow rope tied snug around a balikbayan box. I come bearing gifts. We never expect a balikbayan box to return to us because we are returning. We are giving comfort, sweetness, and security. I do not need a guaranteed gift back. How delicious the moment to accept love we did not have expectations around. Love that came out of its own will, love coursing through the breath we share. I may write and write, writers may write, but they will never be able to define love. This fluid electric current cannot be contained, can only compound. So come with your love and stay. And my next poem is called Self-Love is Self-Grief. Grief has taught us many things. My true strength, the ability to dig deep and hook a finger around my heartstrings, dig and dig, dig until I can hold on to something. The art of surrendering control, to let life's waves take me to shore, take me to a destination I was not even looking for. Unrelenting love that is always finding belonging and seeking comfort. To cherish comfort and to not deny myself safety and sanctuary. True safety is not overbearing or suffocating. It is true liberation. It is breathing, eating full meals, and dancing. My unknown selves are messengers. They are saints. They tell me origin stories I have hidden from myself. My love soars and my body cannot be an afterthought. My body also amplifies love and drips of sweat. I am the many reverberations of my ancestors breathing. My wounds have stories. My heart rings endings. My feet dance into beginnings. My love is free. I do not have to look behind me to see if love has followed me. I trust my love. My love is for me. And that's it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Oni. Everyone, that was Oni's first time reading at Luya. You're getting lots of love in the chat, Oni. Everyone else, please put as much love as possible there. And Oni, feel free to drop your socials in the chat so folks can follow along with your work. And right now, I gotta give it to Pure Substance because they've been outside and like partaking of Luya, and like I watched the sunset through their through their camera, and that was so lovely. Give a warm welcome to Pure Substance. Take it away.
Hi, everybody. So I'm just going to be performing am I on the mic?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just going to be performing a short piece. So yeah, I'm just going to get right down to it. Sometimes I wish people understood anxiety. Like here, let me give this to you so you know how it feels. And although I don't wish that on anyone, I also don't wish it on myself. And when it happens, and sometimes feel like it's out of like my control. It's like my body's being handicapped. I can't breathe. I can't move. Oh damn! I am so sorry. Your phone turned off.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, there you go.
All right. It's like I'm being handicapped. I can't breathe. I can't move. I sweat. I shake. I feel like I'm on my last breath. It's a blind spot to the invisible eye. But if you know, you just know that you just have to cope. Take a few extra steps to recompose. Breathe. Inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. Your feelings are valid. What you can't control now, you will with time. Get uncomfortable. Feel it. Release it. Anxiety doesn't define us. It might always be there, but we will always prevail. Thank you, guys.
Yes, that was beautiful. Thank you so much for your substance. I wish we could see your face.
Oh, I know. I'm so
your voice was so lovely to listen to.
Thank
Oh,
you.
yes, we can see.
You can see me now?
Thank you so much for coming. Well, we
All
saw, I
right.
caught a glimpse a little bit because the light caught your face.
The car light. The car light.
There.
Oh,
Hi. Thank you so much for coming tonight.
thank you
Okay.
for inviting, to letting us into your space. It's very nice.
Are you in Chicago?
I am.
Oh my
We're
God.
in Lincoln Park right now, so.
All right. Well, come through to our birthday, July 25th, 3 p.m.
I'll be there.
RSVP will go live on our public socials later today. Okay, before we bring on our last open mic performer of the night, just a quick reminder, if you have the capacity to donate but have not donated yet, we would love to see your donations. They go to paying our feature and they also go to the upkeep of our show. Captioning services cost money, so does premium Zoom. So at Luya Poetry on Venmo, $ Luya Poetry on Cash App, and paypal.me/Syra Ukal. The spelling of everything is in the chat. Okay, Chris, are you ready? On deck we have Syra, but right now we have another Chris.
Thank you. Content warning, this piece is about sex, but it's going to be hopefully a little bit joyous. And there is audience participation, so I encourage you to unmute and respond. It'll be clear when it's time. Nah, I don't kiss boys. But you can fuck me in the ass, though. Oh man, I didn't bring my dildo. What exactly you got down there? I'm sure I'm not the only trans person here tonight, and non-binary person. By the way, non-binary day of awareness. Woo! Here tonight, who's been rejected by a cis person or a dozen cis people, because I don't answer their questions about my body. Dear cisgender people I may someday sleep with and hope not to regret. What is going on under your clothes? You think I just took off my clothes one day and found myself? You think I just woke up like this? There are different kinds of waking and different kinds of messes. Some of them take other people, and some of them we just have to face. We just have to grimace or grin and play and see what we can make of this. Thank Goddess for the queer, cis, and trans folk who help make me every day, who teach us, saying, listen, repeat it after me, saying it to yourself, and feel free to unmute if you'd like. Naked. I am spectacular.
I am spectacular.
When the unveiling arrives, let your words fold and slide themselves away. This body is not a phrase you can turn in that ubiquitous tongue of yours. This planet's ecology stirs whirlwind gusts as habitual as tides, black holes, chilling as tundra. Sometimes there's no cave to shelter or fire to warm in this celestial arrangement. Sometimes we wander for years worth of winters. Walk softly, my barefoot explorer. Hear the hush and dive of this ballet. Tumble with me. You can't mess up an adventure. This topography is too complicated for any kind of map, and I've got 7 or 8 different magnetic poles, so don't bother with the compass. If you must hang a hammock of hesitation between your fears of unfamiliar challenge and familiar inadequacy, let me rock you till I roll you right out of it and then hitch up and hike yourself into my sky. Flutter around, you just can't help yourself but somersault, back handspring, backflip, hopscotch between mountaintops, hatch a dragon or a dinosaur to rocket us, hypnotize all my little birdies to flurry up and down at once, wrestle my nerves down from the northern lights, harness up the wild horses in my lungs, haul some tectonic plates, set off some volcanoes. If you feel tempted to describe our creation, I'll remind you, calling this pleasure or pain is asking the ocean if it comes from rain or from rivers. Calling this bottom or top is asking a mountain if it rises from the earth or reaches for the sky. Calling this female or male is asking a tree if they can grow merely from water or sun. On this planet, there are trees that are mountains with rainbows inside them. There are rainbows made of oceans with choruses of bird-like fishes and dragons who spit rainbow compost, mountain, tree, ocean, soil. And obviously, there are unicorns.
I love, obviously, there are unicorns. What a strong line to end a poem. Thank you so much, Chris, for coming today and for reading. And yeah, some folks quoted some of your lines. This body is not a phase. Just happy non-binary. Is it non-binary day of visibility, or is it just non-binary day? Like, happy not, you know what, fuck it, happy non-binary day. But let a non-binary person decide if they would like you to perceive them today, especially. International Non-Binary People's Day. Like, I feel like a poem brewing in my head on like how we call these days. Like what is different on a People's Day versus a Visibility Day versus a however. Anyways, but that's for a different time. Right now, coming to the stage, the mic, your screen, everywhere at once to end our show is the amazing, the talented, the king of headscarves, Syra.
Hello. I have 2 poems for y'all today. They're very short. They're still drafts, so shout out to my poet friends that keep being like, let's try to write a poem every day, and they do it every other month. And then we're all just writing new poems. Like 60 new poems every year. So here's the first one. This is about me visiting a spring water place in Upper Michigan. It's very pretty. The blue pulls in the red-brown mulch of the month-old leaves to dance to cicada hum and river splashing duet under an afternoon sun. Music like symphony, like plants swaying in 3/4 time, like insects' wings vibrate, sizzling in treetops like I'm tanning, shaking, breaking a sweat at our dance party. Our dance party, like just being here adds bass to the rushing rhythm of the river. Sweet smelling hand lotion and all day worn cotton shirts, slick and warm on our backs, crunching fallen branches under muddy gym shoes until rolling over the blue green smoke. The fish don't know I'm here and I won't bother them. They have their own dances I have yet to learn, to love the dusty rain under the spring surface. So that's the first one. Here's the second one. Highly recommend. It's like a raft, and the water is so clear. And the raft you pull by a rope, and the bottom of the raft is glass, so you can watch the fish. And as a Pisces with Leo rising, please look at me. Here's my next poem. Take my hand. Because the only place we have to be is here, and chasing sunbeams is not silly. It's philosophical. If all we have is rundown malls, let's go all in, baby. Running hands through hanging necklace displays at Carson's, I want to experience the wild world without apology. It's not that you don't ask. You ask by doing, by running, sniffing, tasting, squinting at. Sometimes it feels like all you are is questions, softness in the armor of sharp matte wings, and sleeves and collars burying your shoulders. Let the sun touch the back of your neck and feel the good burn. That's about wearing more tank tops in the summer, 'cause I'm not ashamed of my shoulders anymore. Let 'em
Yeah.
out.
Let out your shoulders, everybody. Thank you so much for those beautiful poems, Syra. I know I've like technically read them or read at least one of them in one of our many email chains of poems with other poets, but it's always really beautiful to hear you like read them out loud. I'd like to remind everybody that Syra is literally performing all over the city of Chicago the last week of July. So clear your schedule accordingly for that. And yeah, I'd like to add that that's pretty freaking huge because since Syra moved back to Chicago, they have performed in person a few times, but obviously because of our pandemic and the weather, there haven't been as many places to be performing IRL. So this is a rare and wonderful opportunity to go see them and also support a very, very amazing Chicago organization.
I want to also point out that this particular program I'm in, I don't remember their like specific title, but also friend of Luya, part of Luya community. Dante, Gary, they helped put together this whole program, and they are also a very good poet. Featured, was it last month already?
Yes, they were our feature last month.
They were a feature last month. Lots of good people involved. Me, Donna,
Lots of good
guys.
and yeah, and everyone involved with the production that we know, at least, that is like part of the Luya community, is all non-binary folks of color, which is lovely. So please support them. In terms of things you need to know before we officially end our show, one, remember this date, July 25th. That is a Sunday. That will be the date of our birthday picnic in the park. It will be from 3 to 7. To find out the location of said birthday celebration, please fill out the form that I just put in the chat so that you can RSVP, and then we will email you what park we're actually going to be at. So you bring yourself, your blanket, your snacks. We will provide you with the vibes, the music, and most likely some cake, as well as some collective art making activities. Our DJs, who you will get to listen to on that day, you have all uh, probably seen through Luya. So Neil, who has been Luya's resident DJ since like year two of Luya, year one. I don't even remember. A long ass time. Okay, a long ass time. Neil has been DJing all of our in-person open mics and other things. I'm so excited to be able to hear Neil spin in person again after so long. Another DJ who will be playing is DJ Nick, aka DJ Nick 2 Bomb. He's DJed a couple of times for us virtually when we had a couple of kickbacks during the pandemic over Zoom. And last but not least, you'll also hear Sarah O will be DJing. Some of you may remember Sarah O was actually one of our past features. So Sarah is a poet and an organizer and like a playwright and also a fantastic DJ. So please come out for that. Yeah, and there will be, honestly, there will be cake. The only limiting factor of this cake is like me making time in my schedule to make said cake. Because I want to make a good cake and not just like cop out and buy one from Jewel. Someone hold me accountable because that might happen. Yes. Does Isabel bake? Someone in the chat said, should I recruit someone to help?
Maybe I
Isabel
can
Honestly,
bake really well.
maybe I'll also make cookies.
I mean, Isabel, I'm about ready to outsource cake baking to you. So let's talk. Um, and yeah, so please fill out that form so that you can get the address. Um, uh, we're thinking about potentially taking a little bit of a break from Luya programming in August so that Syra and I can rest and also pursue some of our own writing things because we are poets, but a lot of our time does go into planning these spaces for others. And it is also important for us to invest in ourselves and our own craft, and also for us to take some time to just recharge and think about how Luya is going to look long term. We have a lot of big dreams and goals. We want to see how our resources align with getting those things to happen. And we also want to think about what Luya is going to look like as we slowly start to do more things in person. So yeah, look out for reminders and announcements on social media. Thank you all so much for being here today. I'm gonna play some music. I'm gonna play us out. And yeah, we usually stick around afterwards for anyone who wants to hang around and chat. But otherwise, that's it. Our show is done for today. Thank you so much.